What was your favourite part of Power Rangers the movie? Was it Aisha crashing her speedboat into an aircraft carrier? Billy's battle with the snowmobile? What about the part where Kimberly defeats a tank by slapping it? Or was it a part that, was actually in the movie? Since this game has so little to do with the feature presentation, the title screen has to assure you that Ivan Ooze is going to make an appearance. They probably felt the need to mention it because they knew kids wouldn't make it far enough to see him.
Good luck, kids!
And by kids, I mean me. Honestly, it's such a relief to hear. I wouldn't have played the game if it didn't have Ivan Ooze in it.
So, you wanna play, huh?
But you know who isn't in the game? The Ooze Men, or the Tengu Warriors. They've added in every type of enemy they could imagine, except the ones from the movie.
Where'd they go?
There's a ninja who got lost on the way to Samurai Showdown. Maybe they couldn't be bothered to make Ninja Rangers, so they thought that was good enough.
Guess not!
There's some floating shapes inspired by Action 52.
Oh no, what is that?
They even give you some palette swap putties. I kind of like those, to be honest, since they have a Dark Rangers vibe. Who is this normal guy trying to kill you with crates? Is it one of the parents that Ivan Ooze possessed in the movie? I'm starting to think that the developers made this without ever watching the film. I don't mind it when a movie game doesn't follow the story exactly. In fact, it's nice when additional concepts are added. This game doesn't follow any story though. You just fight random enemies in generic locations. It looks like Natsume were working on a different game along the lines of Ninja Warriors. Then, when the Power Rangers movie came out, they slapped the license on at the last minute. That would explain why the putties are shooting at you with AK-47s, and why Billy throws grenades everywhere. I'm not sure Billy even invented grenades in the show. It seems like they were in a hurry to get the game out, so they recycled assets from their first Power Rangers game. This means the Ranger costumes don't have the movie design with the chest logo. In fact, they're not even accurate to the TV show.
Well, I suppose you'll be the experts on that.
The standard Rangers are just lazy palette swaps of the Red Ranger. They remind me of those fake Power Rangers toys from the 90s, and it means the Girl Rangers have men's bodies. Luckily, the Pink Ranger's movie costume omitted the skirt, so that's accurate, but it means the first game that used these sprites was incorrect, since that was based on the TV show. The Yellow Ranger was actually a male character in the original Japanese footage that was reused for the American show. Ironically, his name was Boy. That's why the Yellow Ranger didn't have a skirt. I guess Power Rangers has always reused content at the expense of accuracy. Could they not have done a head swap at least to make the Rangers recognizable? You can see in the ending sequence that the developers knew what the costumes are supposed to look like. The Genesis version went so far as to make the costumes correct, to the TV show at least, apart from the Black Ranger being a palette swap of the Red Ranger. What I don't understand is how Natsume were able to make unique sprites for the unmorphed characters, and then didn't put any effort into the actual Ranger costumes. Were they just running out of cartridge space so they had to reuse Ranger sprites? Well, here's an idea. Don't put random robots in the game.
Inconceivable.
When you morph into the Power Rangers, you actually lose the unique abilities of your character and have to use the stock abilities. Your character has a jump kick, well now it's a jump punch.
Adam, what's wrong?
At least they have unique weapons and special attacks. The new weapons from the movie are nowhere to be seen though. The White Ranger is an exception to all of this. They had to make him from scratch, so he actually looks good. Another reason why this doesn't feel like a Power Rangers game is the fighting mechanics. The previous installment was a real beat-em-up game with combos and throws. In the movie version, the enemies just explode with one hit. It looks and feels like a shinobi game, in the way that you jump from foreground to background, fighting military-style enemies. The plane switching mechanic is used in both games for the purpose of avoiding red cars. Some of the boss battles are suspiciously similar, like this brain-powered computer trying to kill you from above. There's even a moving vehicle stage where you have to take out a machine. Speaking of machines, there are no Zord fights like the Genesis version.
It is gone. The swords, the weapons, all of it.
You only get to see a Zord at the end when it rescues you. I think Natsume ran out of time, so they decided to make a separate Zord fighting game afterwards.
Yeah, Sword Schmord.
In fact, they tease the sequel when you beat the game on hard mode.
I'll deal with you later.
Yeah, later.
I find this ending sequence kind of interesting. It shows Tommy fighting Rocky in a school boxing tournament. I know the Red and Green Rangers used to spar, but that was with Jason, not Rocky, and it wasn't just boxing. So maybe the boxing match is a reference to Rocky V versus Tommy Gunn. Or maybe kicks have been banned from the tournament so that Rocky doesn't have an accident. This whole thing reminds me of the Ninja Finals, where Bulk and Skull hire ninjas to win a martial arts competition. Except, Bulk and Skull jump into the ring for no reason and proceed to get uppercutted by Tommy and Rocky. This is something that would never happen in the show. It clearly states in the Power Rangers theme song lyrics that they only use their weapons for defense. It's one last example of how the developers had a tenuous understanding of the franchise. By the way, the game's actually pretty good. I recommend checking it out.
Bye-bye.